dear. Oh no. So Mazepin has broken the gentleman's code of basically wait your turn and everyone gets a lap. And he's gone past all the champions into the final corner. And then he's got down to that first corner and spun, causing them to not be able to go fast.
Oh, this is
way to make yourself public enemy number one on your debut. That's a shocker.
Does that happen in, is that a sort of F2 manoeuvre, or does everyone wait their turn in F2 as well?
It's more of an F2 manoeuvre. It's completely unnecessary for a car that's guaranteed to be last, with a driver that's guaranteed to be last as well.
That's Cody Ware. 8 cautions today, counting the stage breaks. Ware has been the cause of 3 of them.
There is Paul Tracy, who came in second position. The fuel going aboard, gets it out cleanly. What about Franchitti? He gets out, don't stall it. Unser and Tracy! Is it Unser and Tracy? I think it's Tracy rather than Franchitti. He's already come out. Unser's facing the wrong way in the pit lane.
And look, they couldn't have a wider pit lane here. I mean, this is the widest pit lane we have in this series, and they managed to get together. Some of the other racetracks we have, the pit lanes are horribly narrow, but here there's plenty of room, and they still managed to come together. Tragedy for Alonso Jr.
It's incredible. I mean, Alonso Jr., there he is sitting down at the end. He can do nothing. The engine is stalled. He cannot get it going on his own again, and it was an incident between him and Paul Tracy. Now, they are allowed to race in the pit lane. They might be under yellow conditions. Look at this. Tracy came out so wide, so wide. There was nowhere for little Al to go, and then Tracy came back at him again. Well, what was going on?
That was an appalling move by Paul Tracy. I cannot imagine what he was thinking there. I mean, yeah, that was just an insane maneuver by Paul Tracy. I mean, the guy's already on probation. He's going to get himself in very serious trouble. The car was sliding coming out of the pit lane, but I mean, there's plenty of room there. There's, what, 10 car widths wide, and he just tried to block out Alonso Jr. He's trying to push Unser onto the grass, and then he makes contact with Unser. That is just incredible.
Yeah, and looked absolutely outrageous from that picture. We'll get another view of it, I'm sure. But Paul Tracy, he was just out of the pits. Remember, there's a 60-mile-an-hour speed limit in the pits, but they are allowed to race. And, of course, Tracy was just coming out of his pit box. Alonso Jr. had some momentum up already. He's further up at the pit lane. He was already at 60 miles an hour on the speed limiter, and he was alongside Tracy as Tracy just seemed to drive into him. Well, I have to say, with Tracy being on probation, what are his chances for racing at all in the next round of the championship after that incident?
He's saying he wants wets if it's going to keep raining.
There's the $64 million question.
And now they've got a serious nail biter in their hands because they do not want to give away track position.
We're not sure, mate. We're not sure. We're ready. We're ready. So go around. Go around.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. So Mark Dutton's been forced to play weather forecaster.
You know what?
The best he could do was not sure. Restart. Off we go.
You know what I'd do? If I were them, I'd do it because Courtney will mirror them, and then it'll be a wet weather race between both of them because I don't reckon James would tough it out. It's too wet.
So our 3 championship contenders, Windgap, Winterbottom and Courtney, make up the top 3 of this race. It is belting down. They're not on wet tyres.
The question that I would ask in either of the bunkers at Vodafone Change for the Lead or Jim Beam is, can we afford a crash? And the answer to that is no. Yeah. So look at this. If they end up in the wall, it's game over. It's going to be game over for one of these contenders if they're not careful. They've got to get on wet tyres now.
Look at this. That is so slippery, you will not believe it.
If you're down the autoscape here, you'd play the risk game, but I wouldn't play the risk game.
Oh, James Courtney's about...
Oh, no! He's in the fence! The boat's in the fence!
They're all in the fence! Oh, unbelievable! Top 3 in the fence. Van Gisbergen goes as well. Suddenly, Windcup has managed to keep going. Courtney's desperately trying to go within the fence.
That's stupid. I said it 15 seconds ago. They pushed that you cannot afford to have a crash in these conditions. They should have been on wets.
Particular attention to the right front.
He's got nothing on the right front.
It's broken.
It's going nowhere.
They're all broken. Forget about it.
This is just incredible.
Well, it looks like Yaley decided to come down into pit lane and didn't let everybody behind him know. And I mean, took out 2 good race cars. I mean, I don't know if he ran out of gas and decided that he needed to get down pit lane right then, but even if you're running out of gas, you gotta watch what's coming in your mirror. I mean, Mark went in the wall about the worst angle you can hit.
That was an unbelievably hard blow by that 6 car.
Your spotter's got to be helping you there too, doesn't he?
Yeah, your spotter's got to be helping, but look how fast Mark is going. All of a sudden, something happens with Yaley, and he decides he's going to go down a pit lane. You can't do that. You can't just decide I'm going to come down a pit lane when you got guys running behind you 170 miles per hour. You got to pay attention to what's around you.
They've got Bobby Allison posted as winning the race right now.
I thought so, Keith. I thought he was only 1 lap down.
Well, that's a complete redo, Mike. That has to be a redo right there.
Look.
Car number 90 turning and flipping, going into the wall, and that takes out at least 3 other cars. He looked like a tire might have blown as they came down for the finish line, and Ken Schrader's automobile gets sideways and turns over and comes sliding on its top. Yeah, we've got to redo it because NASCAR never had Allison on the board, and I couldn't get any confirmation up from you or anybody else as to where the hell he was.
Pierluigi Martini in the yellow Minardi. Here is race leader Nigel Mansell. He comes up alongside and takes down the Alio. They clip each other, and that's where Alio went off yesterday. Mansell hit him, and he's through. Mansell, he seems to be unharmed and is in the lead still.
Yes, and Mansell was very lucky to not be taken off by that ridiculous piece of driving by Alio, who didn't even look at his mirrors. He didn't even know Mansell was there. And the man who crashes at every Grand Prix anyway, Alio, in practice, he's already managed one this weekend in practice, has taken himself out of the race. And if he drives like that, he shouldn't be in them anyway, because he was interfering with the leader, totally oblivious of the fact that the quick man was already beside him, drove into Mansell's front wheel, and luckily for both Mansell and for all spectators who want to see motor racing, the Alio is out of the race and can at least not take anybody else off.
What do you see that I don't see? Turn 3 is what I see. They're in turn 2 right now.
Boy, this is going to get... This has got...
Clear, coming back.
What I see is 60.
He's funny. Oh, man. Leffler got into the back of Mike Inspunny.
All right, no caution yet. No caution.
Oh, man.
Leaders in 3.
Here comes Dale Earnhardt Jr. He goes to the high side. Leffler's trying to block him. Look at Mike Wallace in the 4 on the bottom.
Leffler went up, and Wallace is going to win it, or is he?
It's not over with yet.
Leffler put Junior in the wall.
Checkered flags in the air. No caution.
Mike Wallace. Darrell, it looked like Leffler was trying to do a cross under on Michael, got right to his back bumper, tried to swerve off him, and got him.
Yeah, he did. And then, of course, he got down here to turn 3, and Junior tries him on the outside, and he swerves into him. So he was doing everything he could to keep people behind him.
I think he's good to go.
7 to go this time by. There's Kenseth off of 4.
Oh, the 39 gets into the 20, coming off a 4. And now Boyer gets spun around, and he's going to back right into the 20.
14
so
caution.
Typical of the end of a Bristol race. I mean, oh, we only got 20 laps to go. This won't take long. What was I thinking? And what I said in the opening, everybody's okay for the first part of the race, but when you get down to the end, see 39 gets in the back of the 20, turns him around. And then somebody gets back into the 2.
Because Boyer probably slowed up, and whoever was behind him didn't. On board with Boyer.
Okay, now watch, he'll start checking up in front of him. He gets in the back of the Sauter's car.
And then finds Hamlin.
That's the second guy Newman's run over tonight.
Just a little hard racing among friends, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess you can see what you can get away with.
Wow. No, that's not even funny.
No.
Gosh.
Nope.
That's violent.